Hello.
How's it going? It's Big Dog EDM 2K18 or 2018. I honestly can't remember what it is, but I haven't put out a video about the Habs since basically the off season. I don't think I had anything. Okay, I guess my kid wants to be in the video as well. She has her own little Montreal Canadiens jersey, and so I haven't put out a video about the Habs all season long. I have been following them, and I have to say that I'm very impressed of where they were last year, so where they are now compared to where they were last year. So they definitely have made some improvements, bringing in some newer guys, some rookies, most notably Kotkaniemi as the centerman. And I'm going to make a little bold prediction. If he sticks around with the Habs for a while, he should be our next #1 center. And we haven't had a #1 center in years. If anyone follows this or watches this, feel free to leave any comments to say who the last #1 center guy is. I want to say Koivu, but I don't even know if he was really our #1 center when he was with us. But I got to say, we've played 71 games in this season, and we've had some highs and we've had some lows. And unfortunately, we're picking the worst time of the season to have some lows. Against the Islanders, yes, the Islanders are a good team, and they are destined to go to the playoffs, whether they win the Metropolitan Division or finish in second place. I don't see them following down to third place. I don't see Pittsburgh coming up and overtaking that. I do believe they will have home ice advantage in the first round at least. So, not taking anything away from the Islanders, but it was a close game for us and them heading into the third period. We were both tied at 1. And unfortunately, we had a horrible turnover. And I don't understand how we had 4 guys stuck in the offensive zone, and then Petrie was the lone guy back. And then I'm not trying to really give Petrie a hard time, but typically on a 2-on-1, the defenseman should be taking the guy who doesn't have the puck, because I'm sure Price could have easily stopped whatever shot was going to come his way from Barzal, whatever his name is. So unfortunately, Petrie was kind of trying to take Barzal out, and he thought that maybe by doing that they wouldn't be able to give up a chance, but it got too close to the net, and then Barzal passed it over, and Anders Lee had an open net. So that's unfortunately, you win some and you lose some, and we're just picking the worst time to lose some. I mean, that California trip just killed us on only getting 2 out of a potential 6 points, losing 8-3 against the Ducks, who are having a horrible year themselves, and they're not likely to make the playoffs. So typically, if you're playing a team that's not going to excel throughout the season and they're not making the playoffs, you'd think that should have been a winnable game, but unfortunately it wasn't. So Columbus just won tonight against Carolina, and ironically, we're trying to chase one of those 2 teams in order to get into that wild card picture. So obviously, the mentality, if you're a Habs player, if you're a coach, if you're in that locker room, should be treat every game like it's the last. Treat every game like it's an elimination game, like it's a Game 7. It's win or go home. And we do have the Blackhawks coming up on Saturday. I want to say it's a winnable game because unfortunately the Hawks aren't a contender. I'm not even sure where they are in the standings. I know they're on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So I want to say it should be an easy game, should be a winnable game. But again, this could be like the Anaheim Duck game and we could just get blown out at home. So I'm hoping with the home crowd and all the energy and whatever else you want to call it, that can help us get a win. And it just sucks that we're this close to a playoff spot, but we're so far out as well. So we'll see how we do if we can beat Chicago, and if Columbus can lose at least 2 games potentially in a row, then maybe we can squeeze back into that playoff spot. I know Carolina is only 2 points ahead of us as well, but either one of those teams, either Carolina or Columbus can potentially go on a losing streak, which would be fantastic for us, and we can possibly get a winning streak going, then I'd feel more confident about going into the playoffs, about potentially making the playoffs. But at this point, if we start losing a couple of games, start losing 2 or 3 games in a row, then it's basically we're not making the playoffs. And it's going to kind of suck because I figured that the season that we were having, we should have potentially made it into a wild card spot, but it's not looking too good if we have games like we had against the Ducks, and if we lose late in the third period, we give up a lead or a leading goal. So we'll see how the remainder of the last 11 games go. If we can win possibly 7 or 8 of those games, or even possibly 9 of the possible last 11 games. And Columbus, like I said, Columbus or Carolina should happen to lose 3 or 4 games, then we should be able to get one of those 2 wildcard spots. But I mean, if like every point matters, like I said, you have to have that mentality that you have to treat every game. It's do or die, basically. We win, great. We lose, we might as well just be getting ready to go golfing at the second week of April. But anyway, guys, that's all I really wanted to talk about. And my kid is dying to say goodbye, so I'll point the camera over to her.
Bye.
That's all you wanted to say?
Bye.
Alrighty. And on the count of 3, we'll say go Habs go, okay? We'll both say it at the same time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Go Habs go!